All right, today we're going to be painting Winchester SXP shotgun. So I got started on this video a little late, but I basically taped up where any moving parts would be, where I don't want the paint to go. And now I'm just spraying off the metal with some brake cleaner. There you go, that's what I'm using. It's really hot and humid outside, so some of this stuff will you get little spots and stuff. It really won't affect the paint though. And anyways, you can always just wipe it off with a paper towel and then go from there. But anyway, so the goal today, we're gonna put a green base coat on it. And then I'm gonna use some foliage for a pattern, lay it over the green, and then spray over top of that with brown and tan. That's the plan. My non-perfect tape job. All right. So humid. Usually, brake cleaner just evaporates really easily. But sometimes it needs a little help. Got me my gun painting bag right here. This is just an old laundry bag I got at Walmart. I've used that on my AR-15. Gives you a nice pattern when you need it. And just some good old Rustoleum Camouflage paint. They make a couple other colors too, but I've got the green, the brown, and the tan. That's what we're going to use today. All right, I've got this sprayed off with brake fluid. Now, you want to cover up the trigger parts. This is the ejection port down here. Cover that up. Or this is the ejection port. I'm sorry, this is the loading port down here. And then there's just the rails that slide into the receiver. So we want to cover that up, keep paint off of it. This up here doesn't get slid on, I guess is good. I don't know if slid's a word like that, but we can paint all this other stuff. And I don't paint mine for like I'm gonna try to, use it for a display or something like that. I mean, I'm just painting this for utilitarian reasons. So this paint job doesn't have to be perfect for me. Like if there's a little black showing through, honestly, that's fine with me because black is a naturally occurring color out there in the wild, so to speak. So anyways, put a decent coat on it here, and this stuff dries really fast. So I'm gonna go ahead and let this dry a little bit before I turn it over, obviously. Keep smudge marks off of it, but again, like, it doesn't have to be perfectly coated. You can see some black through there. And I'm okay with that. I actually kind of like that. I don't mind painting the front bead. I can sand that paint off if I need to. But anyways, I've got my Takstar side saddle right there. Let's paint right over it too. And the idea is that I'm gonna lay some foliage over this and then paint over that with the tan and the brown. That way the foliage keeps that greenish looking color. Now this isn't a plant green. I mean, it's obvious looking at it that this is more like some type of a camo green. It's actually, looking for the color on here, doesn't really say. Anyways, it's just part of the camouflage lineup. Anyways, so we'll let this dry for a few minutes and then we'll turn that over and do the other side. It's only about 5 minutes later now, and that was dry enough to turn over. So, really pleased with the color it's drying with. I'm not necessarily going to try to get paint deep into the shell holder because it wouldn't hurt if I did. Maybe I will. Sometimes I like to think out loud. I say something, and then as soon as I say it, I realize maybe that shouldn't be what I do. So, looking good here. Make sure we get a Nice even coat. That is looking good, I think. You know, on the stock and on the fore-end grip here, all that's you're gonna have some paint just naturally wear off. But that's exactly what you want, kind of give it that aged look or worn look. So that's the base coat. We'll let this dry really good. And I'm gonna go get some foliage just in the backyard. Thinking I might use cedar branches. Or something that has a really tight leaf pattern. Because you know, this is somewhat small. You get an oak leaf, it can be bigger than this distance on a stalk or something. So I might use locust leaves, or like I say, cedar, something like that. It's looking good. All right, so I'm here in the backyard and just looking for some foliage I can use. I actually like this because you can see from just a size perspective, you'd see a lot of leaf pattern on the stock of that shotgun if I use that, versus if you use these big hickory leaves. Like one of those leaves is, you might not get the whole leaf pattern on the stock, you know. So that's kind of like I saw up there. And I know on the other side we got some cedar. Let's go over here. I found these cool sticky bushes. I didn't think I'd stick myself while I was painting. I might use some. It's just a cool shape, you know. And you're just looking for natural shapes that break color up well. Oh, what's that hawk? There it is. It's probably going back there to eat our chickens. Mm-hmm. Now here's what I was coming for originally. We've got some cedar up here. So let me step in here, get covered in a few ticks. And yeah, I'm just gonna cut that off there. That should be all that I would need. Definitely want to have some cedar. And I think what I'm gonna do is go back over here and get some of those smaller leaves. So these here, you can see they're a little bit more pointy. And I kinda like that. Not gonna need much. Whereas these are more, you know, round. So I'll snip some of those. That'll be all I need. All right, so I've literally just randomly laid some of these leaves over top. I've actually used them all three. I've got the cedar. I'm not sure what this bush is. Some type of, not sure what that is either, but got the same two there. Some cedar in between. I'm gonna be using this darker brown over top. And that way, the you know, the leaf patterns will show up in green. All right, first attempt. Hopefully the paint won't blow the leaves off. Yeah, it did. So I've learned there. So you do need to kind of hold the leaf pattern in place while you spray it, or it can move. And I don't have three hands, so I'm going to have to basically hold this and spray over top of it, but I'll show you the finished result. All right, so first pass. You can see the patterns there. I literally just held one side of the stem with one hand and sprayed with the other. And just looking for a good breakup, but I think I'm gonna have to add some more color to it. I don't like the kind of the harsh lines. I'm gonna add some tan dappling to it or something. You'll see what I'm talking about. I'm gonna flip this over and do the other side too. All right, here's my setup for spraying this side. All right, so for this side, looks good. Oops, I'm in the sun here, in the shadow. That's what I did. Did you see I just laid those leaves on the stock, held them with one hand, sprayed with the other. All right, so this last I'm gonna use this tan. And I've got an old laundry bag that I've used on my AR-15. I really like the pattern it left. I'm just gonna kind of slip the gun or shotgun in here and just spray it in a select few places. Like here where the green is just solid green, might just like a little bit of extra color in there. Same thing where it's just where it's solid brown. It'll just add another dimension to it. All right, so this is what I'm talking about. I literally just slid the shotgun inside the laundry bag. So it's only a single layer, but I can see through. It allows me to see through and see maybe where I want to add some additional color. And I think this is going to turn out really great. And then I'll just have to, you know, slip it over the stock end here. It wasn't big enough to put the whole shotgun in, but I think this is going to turn out pretty good. Okay, here we go. So just some light touches. I think when you can see like that may be all I do. Just a little bit here and there. And then I want to make sure I get on the other side and do it along the top some too, like maybe there. The closer the netting is to the shotgun, I think the better the pattern. You know, it's a tighter pattern. So one more spot here. There we go. All right, well, let's see what that did. All right, so one thing I really like about this technique is if you go, I sprayed too, I'll turn around here so the shades. Like here, I think I got too much of the light color. I don't like that. So I'm just gonna lay my netting back over and spray some brown back on it. But the rest, I kind of like the pattern. I like that the, you know, those little dots get broken up a little bit. And if we turn it over, look at the other side. I went ahead and did both sides. But I'm digging that. Gives it some of that extra texture in there. Once we get all the tape peeled off, we'll see exactly how it's looking, but so far so good. All right, so here's the finished product after I got the tape peeled off. Really happy with the results. And you know, this is really a home defense shotgun. You may wonder why I painted a home defense shotgun. This is kind of like camouflage for the woods. And the real reason is I was practicing. So I'm planning to do an AR paint job in a little bit. And wanted to try this pattern out. And I thought, you know, I could just try it on one of my home defense shotguns and see what that looks like. Actually, in the video, the green's showing up more of like a mint green or something. I don't know that I can adjust the color temperature. It's actually a pretty nice green for the woods. I'm happy with that. But, you know, my taping wasn't perfect around the ejection port. You can see there. I didn't take a lot of time though either. I mean, I just threw the tape on there. So, you know, depending on what you're gonna be using your gun for and whether it's really important for things to be nice and straight line for you and perfect, you just might wanna take more time on your paint job. But overall, I'm really happy with how this turned out.